Hello once again, everybody. This is Rich with High Percent Trading and the Grail Trading System. This short video is going to show what happens when the number one profile level, that's the number one predicted profile level, is broken for the day. And I'm going to show this on numerous markets today. It's a very important topic to know and a very important way to trade. Because basically without that you're kind of operating in the dark. This is the standard disclaimer. If you've got a moment, please pause the screen and read it if you're not familiar with it. And let's go ahead and get started. So this is the NASDAQ. Now, every day, for the most part, the big band indicator shows and predicts the number one profile level up and down in the market. Now, we didn't get to the up one today because this was up above the market right here. This was the number one profile level this morning, and for the entire trading session, that was the one above the market. This was the one below the market. Okay, so and I'm on Pacific time. Early on, around 5:30 a.m. Pacific, that's 8:30 Eastern, we did come down into the number one profile level. Generally, you get a very good bounce out of there. And we did. We got a very nice tradable bounce out of that all the way through the pit session up until very close to about almost 10 a.m. Eastern. And then we broke through it. Okay. And what's important is when the number one level doesn't hold and we break, we can travel a long, long way, as you're going to see on this chart. We never did really look back on here. We started to break level after level after level, and eventually what was a predicted normal range turned into an expanded range with a very big run in the NASDAQ. As you know, if you followed the market, it was down significantly today. It just kept selling off basically through the entire session. But that's the importance of those number one profile levels. If they don't hold, as we saw when it broke, and it's fairly easy to trade the break. We talk about that in our live markets analysis room. You can get a big move, especially on those days when we go to an expanded range. On another chart, this is the EMD, that's the mid-cap 400. And again, this was the number one profile level to the upside. We didn't get there. This was the number one profile level to the downside. And again, you can see it, when we came down into the level, we got a very nice bounce back up to the upside. Almost made new session highs on the session. Came back a second time to get a nice tradable bounce, and then we broke, right? Broke through a short, ripped back up through it for a nice tradable long, back up to what's called the OP. The OP is the opening price range for the session. In this case, this was the European session. And then on the way back down again, we broke through the number one level again, and then almost ran the full gauntlet of bands. Normally we have 8 bands up and down. As we speak right now, it's into the 7th one, but that doesn't mean we still can't go to the 8th band later today. For you Dow futures traders, it was pretty much just one-sided today. We did run the full gauntlet. They pretty much pounded the Dow today, and you can see this was the number one profile level above the market. This was the number one below. We came down to it. It was so weak that we did not even get a tradable bounce. Once we broke it, we never looked back, and the selling just really continued to pour in here tremendously. So again, trading these number one profile levels above and below the markets are very good profit generating trades, because you'll either get a nice continued move to the upside, or in the case here, when it breaks, you can get a really big move to the downside. And then especially when the market goes from predicted to expanded, and you knew at this point in time, this indicator was telling you basically at around 5:20 this morning that we have moved from a normal predicted range to expanded, and that's when you can go band after band after band. This predictive indicator works in all markets. It doesn't matter what the market is, futures markets, forex, stocks, ETFs. Here's an example of the euro currency, the 6E. And once we got to the number one profile level, it attempted a brief bounce off of a rally here. Would have resulted in a few ticks, but nothing really spectacular. And then as we broke through it for the second time, again, this setup went another 3 bands all the way down. So again, these are very important levels. If you're not paying attention to these levels, or if you don't have anything that enables you to see these levels in advance, you're really trading in the dark without something like this. Here's the Japanese yen from today. Now, the yen was a little more range bound. You knew coming into the session, this is the European session, you knew this basically 5 seconds into the session at just after 3 a.m. Eastern, that this was your number one profile level on the downside, your number one profile level on the upside. We came down within a tick or two here of it, and then just rallied strongly up, and eventually came up late in the session, pretty much when the equities were closing, to hit the number one profile level to the upside. So a lot of times the markets will hit both levels. This is an example of it being contained, whereas the other ones, once they blew through the levels, had very large continuing movements to the downside. So if you're not a member and you're interested in perhaps learning more, please go ahead and you can visit the website here. There's a few videos that talk about some of the different trading applications that we have here with the Grail trading system. You can request a free trial. If you haven't gotten a trial already, you can request one. Just go ahead and fill out the information and we'll get it over to you. You can also contact us on the contact page as well. So again, I urge you to take advantage of this in your trading. If you're not paying attention to, or if you don't have a way to find these important profile levels, and you're a serious trader, or you're thinking about becoming a serious trader, you really need to avail yourself of some type of indicator or some type of analysis that enables you to know this. And of course, this big band pretty much nails it day in and day out. So thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something from this. Thanks again, everyone. Have a great day.